We are here today with Dr. Lily Siu, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And the diversity team actually wanted us to come here today, and I think you're going to teach me how to cook, right?
I didn't know that, but we can do it.
Yeah. You're going to show me a few skills. You know,
Okay.
maybe you can help
Sure.
me out.
All right.
Okay, so first off, what are you planning? What are we...
Well, today I'm going to do something really pretty simple.
Okay.
And to me, the goal of this is so that people can incorporate some of the basic skills and some of the basic ingredients of Chinese cooking into whatever you're cooking. So I'm not using fancy Chinese ingredients except for a couple of sauces. But basically, anybody can buy soy sauce at any of the grocery stores. And nowadays, even this is oyster sauce. It's made from oyster extract. And you can even find this at grocery stores. I was shocked to see that when I was in Tbilisi, Georgia, way over there in Eastern Europe, that their grocery stores had oyster sauce and soy sauce. It didn't taste very good, but no.
But so the quality is key,
quality is key, and the more oyster extract you have, the better the sauce. So this brand comes with this picture of a lady in a canoe. That's the one to buy. Don't buy the one with the panda. The one with the panda picture has less oyster extract.
And it's not as good.
No, that's not as good. You pay a little bit more, not much more, because, I mean, you get a big quantity and you don't use a lot. You'll see that. Yeah. So there's a picture of a lady in a canoe, which is interesting because when my mom was showing me this, that's what she said. She said, buy the one with the lady in the canoes.
So that's how you know now.
Yeah. So
I'll remember that one.
So I'm imparting wisdom of my mother, which is really nice. So the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to marinate the chicken. What we're going to do today is a chicken stir fry, a chicken and veggie, and we're going to have asparagus, which you can find. Or you don't like asparagus? How about broccoli? You don't like broccoli? Well, pick the vegetable of your choice, all right? Green beans, whatever you like, you're going to be able to use in this recipe.
Yeah.
So we're going to do chicken and broccoli. So I need to marinate the chicken first thing, and then while that is sitting in the refrigerator, we're going to be chopping up all the vegetables for the stir fry, which is not a whole lot, like pluck the asparagus and chop it, okay. And that should take about like half a minute for you. And in the meantime, we're going to then start a fried rice. So I'm going to start with old rice, right? Leftover rice. Usually that's the best.
I think I know this trick. I've used this trick before.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
You use the leftover rice, and then you just kind of incorporate some vegetables and some sauces, right?
Right.
And it's just as good.
Yes. Well, you should use leftover rice because fresh rice does not fry.
Yeah.
Because fresh rice,
right?
That's right. That's
See?
right.
I know.
Those chefs down in Haiti,
in Bahamas
taught you well.
They really did.
So you need leftover rice. Well, way back when I was working in liberal arts, the ladies say, "Bring us fried rice," and I'm going like, yeah, "Okay, I'll bring you leftovers if you like." But that's what.
Good? So you're saying it's good.
I think it's good. Well, you tell me later, okay?
I will.
So we're gonna start with the chicken, and then we'll do all the chopping for the fried rice. We'll do the fried rice. The chicken would then be marinated, and then and this is gonna be an easy cleanup because I decided to use the wok amidst this gorgeous culinary kitchen. By the way, the culinary program is phenomenal here. And the facilities are really good. Sometimes I have cooking classes here, and it's like, everything works so well. But we're just going to use a wok, and it'll be a one wok meal. We're going to first cook the fried rice, and then we'll just wipe it up with oil. So we don't actually need to clean it. You see it, you just wipe it up, the oil. And then what we need to do is then throw in the oil and do the stir-fried chicken.
Gotcha.
What do you think?
I'm excited.
Any ideas?
What do you mean?
Like any suggestions as far as how we're going to progress? You think?
We're going to progress. I think I'm going to be on veggie chopping.
Okay, good. All right.
Partial veggie chopping.
All right, here you go.
All right.
And for the fried rice, why we're just gonna use whatever vegetables you might have in your kitchen. So I happen to have bought this packet of mixed veggies from the grocery store, and so it's got all kinds of things. As I said, if you don't like broccoli, let's take this out, okay? You don't like cauliflower, let's take this out. Put in celery, and I'm gonna put in onions. So anyway, so that's the way to go. How's that? But first, we're gonna start with our marinating our chicken. All right, so I went to the store, bought chicken last night, and chopped it up in little pieces. We Chinese don't take the skin off chicken. So if you don't like it, then take the skin off. Doesn't matter.
You think it adds more flavor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's hard.
Anything like butter or fat or pork belly. Okay, no, not a good diet. Adding to our COVID 17 pounds. Okay, so basically I've chopped it up into little pieces. I bought chicken thigh, which was on sale for 99 cents at a local grocery store.
So it doesn't need to be any particular part?
Whatever you want. But you don't want bones in here because it'll cook slower. So I kind of just chopped it up approximately about the same size.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to marinate this, and the marinade will consist of, so first you put the non-oily ingredients, all right? Because once you coat the chicken with oil, the chicken won't absorb the flavorings and such, all right? So I'm going to start with like a little bit of garlic powder. So just, whoa, wrong side.
Should we scoop it up with a spoon?
I am doing a Julia Child here.
There you go. This is my type of chicken.
Yay. Hey, and it's garlic. It's no big deal. All right. And by the time that this gets incorporated, and okay, so then...
you brought some mystery jars here.
Mystery jar.
You're going to have to walk me through these.
This is Old Miller.
Interesting.
You know, when I was doing cooking classes, lots of times I'll just use water, but at home I like to use beer. So why do you use water or beer or whatever? It's because the chicken has been frozen and all the water's been taken out of it. Okay. And you will see that all of this is incorporated. Yeah. So this is kind of like a version of, sometimes we call it a drunken chicken, you know?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you'll really be able to kind of taste it?
No, all the alcohol burns off. Oh. But what the beer does is that it tenderizes because it's alcohol, and then also it makes it moist and flavorful. So just don't tell anybody, okay? Yeah, okay. Especially since this is a non-alcoholic campus, yeah. Okay, so next I'm going to put a little bit of baking soda, all right? And what the baking soda does is to tenderize once again. Okay, just a little bit. I'm going to add a little soy sauce, okay?
Soy sauce is essential, right?
Soy sauce is essential, and it's also very good for you.
Oh, it is?
Soy sauce is fermented soybeans.
Okay.
And in China, it was just fabulous. I went to a place where it was like a cultural village, and they fermented these soybeans in these big vats. Wow. And then from the soybeans, then they brew soy sauce. It can take several years to brew soy sauce. Wow. But it's the soybeans that we grow here that is exported to places like Japan to make Kikkoman soy sauce. Wow. And this is, and it's good for you because number one, it's fermented. Mm-hmm. You've heard of a lot of talk about probiotics and prebiotics. Any of those fermented foods are very good for you.
Yeah, I'm learning slowly about Korean cooking, and they do like kimchi and fermented stuff like that.
That's one of the premier, prebiotic foods, right? Kimchi, sauerkraut. I love sauerkraut. But kimchi nowadays, when I'm wanting a soup, I just throw some kimchi in. Yeah, and make a hot and sour soup with the kimchi. It's so easy. It's so easy. Just make a regular soup and then toss some kimchi in.
Wow. I guess I'll have to try that one.
Yes.
And, okay, so would you suggest ever like low sodium soy sauce? Because I know that's kind of becoming a bigger thing.
Well, if sodium is an issue, then go ahead. You can just use less.
Sodium isn't the worst thing.
It depends on your health situation.
Gotcha.
So it's up to you.
Yeah.
So I've got the soy sauce, and then I'm going to add a little sugar. Sugar is also a tenderizing, and it's also something to even out the flavor. So not a whole lot. I would say that's less than a tablespoon. Okay. If you want it a little sweeter, sometimes you see at Chinese restaurants the foods are very sweet, and it's because I would just say restaurant foods, Chinese foods, are not necessarily. It's got high sodium and there's sugar in it. But at home you can modulate to your own taste, so that's very, very good. Yeah. And also when they say stir fry in Chinese restaurants, they mean fry. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. Okay, so this is the basic marinade, and you see all the beer I poured in? It's all incorporated. So I'm gonna add a little bit more.
Why
not? The production crew is really happy. I don't know why they might be, but they're just roaring on the floor over there.
Already.
Okay, and it smells wonderful.
Yeah, I can already smell it.
So I said that we weren't going to put the oily things in. Okay, so this is really crucial. This prep, that you do things in a particular order. Because I think lots of times people say, well, put in this, put in that, but those are the technique things that you learn like in a cooking class. Yeah. So now I'm adding a little bit of cornstarch. And what the cornstarch does is that when you stir fry it, all the water will be incorporated and it won't be all runny. Yeah. Okay.
So are you saying almost like, I know I've used cornstarch before to kind of get like a breaded type of, not necessarily just grilled.
Yeah.
Texture?
Oh, that's wonderful. Cornstarch is a wonderful frying batter. Yes, it's wonderful. It's so crisp. The Japanese would just lay cornstarch and then on their fish, and then they grill that, and that.
Is it good?
That fish is just really nice and tender. Yeah. So what do we have here? Garlic, soy, sugar, cornstarch, beer and more beer, and a little bit more beer. Okay, got it? Okay, so like if you like onion powder, you can put it in. I'm asking you to be flexible.
Yeah, because this is really just throwing what you got in the fridge together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You work with what you got.
You work with what you got. Yeah. So this goes into the in the refrigerator while we're cooking the other things. Okay. How's that?
Got it.
Okay, I'm gonna toss this into the.
So would you ever suggest kind of doing your chicken way in advance to get it more marinated, or does it really matter?
45 minutes to 2 hours.
Okay.
Because sometimes it can get too marinated, where then the soy sauce takes over the chicken flavor.
Yeah.
So 45 minutes to 2 hours. So basic Chinese cooking, we have two very crucial ingredients, both extremely healthy for you. One is ginger, and this is a root. And You can buy it at the local grocery stores. And I broke off this piece from this great big ginger root thing. You can also, when it starts, you can also grow this. My dad would say ginger grows all the time. Unfortunately, I have never been able to grow it, but he says it grows.
Maybe we'll try it one time.
Yeah. And then the other thing is garlic. So garlic comes in cloves like this. I like fresh garlic because I think I know it's a little bit of a pain to peel and to process, but the flavor of fresh garlic versus that you can find in the jars and such. And number two, I feel like that the nutrition in fresh foods are very important. I've gotten into, and I'm really excited I've written up several courses on therapeutic cooking this semester because, food is not only just to eat and taste good, but how is it good for you? Yeah. So I have a few gathered some Chinese recipes and ingredients that are really good for you so that you are then eating for your health and building up natural defenses. Yeah. So here are two of them. Ginger is extremely good for you in terms of building up energy. And we would use ginger in sweet foods, like sometimes we boil pieces of sweet potatoes and chop it up in a sauce, like in a soupy, with ginger sauce. Or I don't know if you've ever had tofu that's coated in a ginger sauce. Yeah. And as a dessert in Japan, that is, people go to restaurants with, ginger. So ginger is invigorating. It's associated with, it's an anti-inflammatory antioxidant. Wow. So it's very, very healthy for you. Basically, I wash the ginger and I use the whole thing and chop it up. I went to some classes with a traditional Chinese doctor in traditional Chinese medicine. And I asked him, I said, what do you think? We always peel the ginger. And he said, no, because the skin is where it's concentrated. Okay.
I used ginger for the first time a few weeks ago, and I definitely peeled it.
Yeah, well, you don't have to, number one, and number two, it's a pain to do that. Don't go the extra step, right? Yeah. So anyway, so garlic is also extremely healthy for you. Garlic is in many, many, many cultures. And what the medical research has found is that cultures that eat a lot of garlic have lower heart problems. Okay. So high garlic cultures have lower heart issues. So garlic is definitely one of those anti-inflammatory foods.
Do you use a lot of garlic?
I do. I put garlic into everything. The local Chinese restaurant that I go to, Green Island, that owner does a garlic fried rice.
Wow. Okay,
that
so
is
I was going to ask you, you live in Danville, right?
Right.
And so where do you go for takeout?
Green
Island.
Yes, but basically I make my own. Yeah. So garlic cloves, what you do is you mash it like this or go like this, and you see that it's very easy to peel this off. Uh-huh. So do you want to try that? Sure. Why don't you try it?
Like this?
Yeah, they all should work. Okay.
And then just hit it?
Just hit it. Yeah. There we go. Wow. Okay. Wow. Good hit. All right.
So you get it.
And I'll do that. And then you can do that. There we go. Excellent.
Look at that.
Okay, so we're doing this for the chicken. So I'm going to mince it, and basically...
I do want to see how you mince this.
Well...
you just chop away.
I just chop away.
Keep chopping.
You just keep chopping. Okay, so if you go chop this way, and then you turn the cutting board, Okay, so now you have, but a lot of people just mince it like using, this garlic is not the, like really fresh garlic. When you do the pounding thing, it just squishes.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so the firmer it gets, okay, so.
Okay, so can I start like
Yes,
doing this?
go ahead, okay?
I know how to
Or you can, do you want to, okay, so with the ginger, what you want to do is get slices. Okay, and when you slice, and you want some power in you put your finger on top of here, and it'll get you a little bit more. And okay, so I've got the ginger sliced really thin, and now
rotate.
And then I rotate. Yeah. So this by second chop, it's pretty well minced.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Good. It doesn't really matter.
They go together.
They'll go together.
Go in the same spot.
Yeah. And some cultures don't mix their garlic and their ginger.
Like even in like the
yeah.
dish, like it's either
Yes.
Is there a reasoning behind that?
Some cultures like to separate those, but the Chinese cooking, lots of times we'll use both. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Are these just called knives? Is that it? Because they're pretty aggressive knives.
It's really the only one I use.
Really?
Yes.
I've never seen it.
These are traditional Chinese cleavers,
Okay.
and they're really reasonable. You can go to like a Chinese grocery store and get these for $10, $12, $15.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you had told us something about this one.
Yes. This is it's got all these Chinese words on it, and basically these are Chinese knives. And my mom gave me this.
Ah.
Yeah, she says, "Here, take a knife." And in the Chinese tradition, if I gave you a knife, you give me money, because you want to sell you a knife. It's like, I'm giving you something to hurt yourself. No, I'm selling this to you. So if you hurt yourself, that's your prerogative. So here we go. I've got ginger and garlic all cut up.
Okay.
So the onion needs to be cut up.
How do you want your onion cut up?
And the onions will be cut up in little in little pieces. This is all for the fried rice except this. Okay?
Should I use this?
Yes. So we put it all together.
You give me a
Okay.
demo.
So basically you put these together, and you stack them up like this, okay?
Gotcha.
And you push this forward, and then now you have like a really nice, and you can use, don't go like this, because one finger off. Okay. Okay, so you use, like, if you cut over here, it's fine. And then you rock some went into the sink. Then you rock it back and forth. You see how the top of this, okay? So we want like about like that. Oh, well, some of them are trying to run away. Okay? And then
Wait, all the way down?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And this is enough, but say you only have like one or two, then you go like this.
Oh.
You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but this is like a big enough bunch
Okay.
that, okay, here, all yours. So we're also going to use cilantro. And cilantro is like parsley, but it's also called coriander. And I know the Hispanic populations, you also use cilantro in the salsas and such. And the Chinese love cilantro. And some people can eat it, but I gather there's like a genetic thing. Some people taste like soapy. So and we use it as a garnish. So once again, I'm gonna chop this up. Okay, And the cleaver use is really interesting because in Asia and in parts of Southeast Asia, they don't buy ground meat. They will buy a piece of pork and we'll go like this. Yeah. So, but the texture is different because when you buy ground meat, it is set. Okay. But I'm too lazy to notice. So in our fried rice today, we're going to use broccoli, cauliflower, and once again, we're just going to chop it up. So chop up whatever you have in your fridge.
What are the Chinese staples to have in your kitchen? Whether that be sauces or veggies.
Oh, veggies?
Or sauce.
I grow my own green onions.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wait, are these yours?
No.
Oh. These are.
Although it's getting to look like that in my garden.
Yeah.
But even in the wintertime, I also grow some therapeutic herbs, Chinese therapeutic herbs.
I heard you like teas.
Oh, I love teas.
Yeah?
Teas are like the essence of what we need in life.
Yeah.
And
what's your favorite teas?
They're all my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it's interesting. And depending on your moods and such, you can have, like
tea every day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I drink tea every day. I drink different kinds of teas for different effects. And so for example, you can drink like chrysanthemum tea, and it's very healthy for you.
Okay.
So I brew chrysanthemum. Yesterday I brewed chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just want to drink tea for fun, like jasmine. Jasmine tea is really kind of just interesting. Okay, so I'll give you some carrots. Oh, they look perfect.
Good.
Very good. So with these little carrots, you can just cut them just straight up and down.
Gotcha.
Okay. Sometimes when I want to get really fancy, I'll get this vegetable trimmer, and I'll take the carrots and then trim little florets.
Really?
Yeah. But not prone to fancy right now. We're just cooking basics. Okay? So I think we've got everything. And with the broccoli, with the asparagus. Okay.
Does like a diagonal cut do anything, or does it just look nicer?
We like to have, like, instead of everything up and down, we like to have, a diagonal cut like this, and it's kind of different. That's all.
Yeah.
And you will see, like, when the Japanese make their potato salads and such, sometimes they'll take the potato and they'll go this way, and then they'll rock it, and they'll go this way, so that it's like a cubist painting where there are all these different angles to the potatoes. Whereas, that's very creative, right?
Yeah, very creative.
Because we think cubes are the best thing,
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've pretty much chopped everything. So I think we're ready to go. How's that? So this is for the chicken. Okay.
And then this stuff is for the
fried rice.
Gotcha.
Right? Okay. So I'm going to put this up here because that's for later on. And this is also for the fried rice.
Okay.
So basically, okay, well, let's get this.
See, that's what I want to be able to do.
Okay.
I tried doing that with the one hand the other
Yeah.
day. Total mess.
Okay, so don't do it on like a surface like this,
Okay.
because that will create problems. And hey, sometimes when I do this, it's a mess too. You want to see? and sometimes there are shells all over, and
Yeah.
and then
Fish them out.
no, I say more calcium. No, I fish them out. So then I use then we.
Okay.
Can you do that? I didn't bring any forks, so you just. Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, you're handy with the chopsticks.
How to use chopsticks?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, we need a lesson in that. So for our fried rice, we have ham. It'll be a ham fried rice.
Okay.
And traditionally, we might use like a Chinese sausage or shrimps or, this place is a mess. Do we have a paper towel to wipe this? So I think shopping is done.
Yeah.
Well, at least I'm not seeing any more foods that I can chop. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. So
I would go to an Asian restaurant, right? And I'm adopted, so I have 4 older brothers.
Some water.
Yeah. And I'm the one that asks for a fork. They know how to use chopsticks.
All right. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Perfect. Needs a little bit more water. I love this kitchen. The garbage cans are like stadium size, which is what I need because I'm rather a messy cook.
Better?
Thank you. Yes, very good. Okay, so we're going to start with the rice. And I have my rice conveniently in a bag. And we're going to start
Let it get caught.
And I love things super hot.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
maybe sometimes overly so.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. This is why I brought towels, right? Okay.
So do you cook like every night of the week?
No, recently I've gotten really lazy. I hate to tell you what I ate last night. Let's see. I was spooning Braunschweiger out of the tube. I had some pork and beans that I actually did cook. I cut up a hot dog and threw it in pork and beans and onions and relish and all that. Oh, that was delicious. And anyway.
If you had to choose one dish that your mom made best, what would it be?
Oh gosh, she did so many.
Is there one that she did that you just can't nail down yet?
Well, yes, many many haven't been able to. My mom made beautiful dumplings.
Yeah?
Yeah. And
that's an art.
It's an art, not only for the filling, but for the folding of it.
Yeah.
So it's, is this coming on? Yes, I hope so. So, so basically what we're going to do is to put oil in and then put the rice in.
Okay, so we have some technical difficulties with the wok over there. So we moved it over here. We learned about the wok, but now we're gonna see a different technique. So we kind of get a 2-for-1. That's the sizzle we were looking for, right?
Yes, that I wasn't getting from the other.
So you did the oil, and then now you're adding the.
I'm adding the rice. It's got to be leftover rice. Remember that.
Gotcha.
So, and I didn't put enough oil in because I'm try not to use too much oil, but I can tell I'm getting a little stingy. So I add. So if you think that things are not getting fried properly, then you can add in the middle, get it heated up first, and then. So what you need to do is just let it sit for just a little bit. For this to, don't keep on like stirring it because then it'll get gummy. You want the grains to be pretty well fried and defined in itself. And what I like about this wok is that, Okay, so cooking at home, sometimes I used to use 2 or 3 pans, and now I just use like one big pan. Yeah, right? And then.
I've been cooking for that long, and I've already cracked the code on that one.
Yeah, right. Way smarter than me. It took me tens of years to find that one. So you do want to stir it a little bit so it doesn't brown too much on one side. And but kind of spread it out and fill the bottom of the wok. Okay? So meanwhile, you just sort of let it sit. And I need this oyster and the soy sauce and all the other sauces.
All the other ones too?
Yes, but so when you do fried rice, you can start, adding oyster sauce and soy sauce to it. And this is a hot chili oil. And basically, you can buy it in the store, and it's got this red, deadly flavor. And it's fairly hot, but it's not terribly hot.
Yeah.
This is a cooked sesame oil. It's processed sesame oil.
Key
Yes.
ingredient in any Asian cooking, really, right?
In most Asian cooking, I think the Koreans use it quite a bit, and the Japanese use it in some of the vegetables and such that they do that are really delicious. Okay, so wow, this is terrific because you can see it browning. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here we go. And basically, I want to cook some of this. You want to cook some of the ingredients separately because the rice will cook at its own speed.
Yeah.
And then the carrots will their own speed. So you don't want some to be really soggy and some to be overly firm. Mm-hmm. So that's where, all right. I noticed there's Kamakura restaurant in Champaign that they throw knives and forks.
Oh, really?
Yes, like Fuji up in Danville.
Oh, yeah.
And I noticed that when they cook their fried rice, they use butter. That's basically not Chinese, but boy, that tasted good. Oh, yeah, so I'm gonna take this out in just a tiny bit, okay? So
that was soy sauce, right?
Mm-hmm. So, oh, I love this pan. It's so hot. Mm-hmm. Usually at home, our burners are not hot enough to. And I'm always anguishing over. Here, you can start pouring. There we go. So this is oyster sauce. Go ahead.
Should I keep it going?
Yeah, go ahead. You really haven't gotten that much out of there. Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Here, you can start.
Okay.
Very good. And when you've gotten that, you can take it out and put it in here.
Does that look okay?
Yeah. If I were making such a, let me turn this off just for safety. If I were making such a large portion of rice, I might just push the rice aside and cook the rest of the veggies. Yeah. So,
okay.
Did you?
Put it in here?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Do we have like a towel? Oh.
I can just.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, we can just scoop it. Very good.
see this lovely bowl we're using.
Mm-hmm.
Did I hear that you made it?
Yes, I do pottery.
Yeah.
Okay. So then now I'm going to start off with oil again.
Okay.
And do some of the
Should I do the
carrots, yes, and the garlic.
Carrots.
And some of the garlic,
So
yeah.
like right here?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes.
And then probably get the cauliflower?
Let's get the carrots going a little bit.
Gotcha.
And with this, all I'm going to do is just to cook it. If you're finding that things are not cooking as fast as you want to, you can also sprinkle some water, and that'll help it steam it.
Yeah.
So that's another strategy. So let's see. Got.
So I saw we used, what was it, garlic powder for the chicken, right?
Yes.
Do you typically use any other like seasonings, like dry seasonings?
Um.
And do all of it?
Yeah. No, not the cilantro. The cilantro we're gonna put in way at the end after everything's cooked.
Okay.
And the ginger I'm gonna save for the chicken. How's that? Good, excellent. And oh, I'm sorry. We'll be here all night if I don't turn this back on. I was like, why isn't this cooking? So we also have ham.
Oh
yeah. And the vegetables, some people like it a little bit crunchy. You'll never find it crunchy in Chinese restaurants.
Okay.
But if you like it, like I like it a little bit crunchy. So I never overcook this part, or try not to. And so I'm gonna toss in some ham. It's getting to be a lot of ham for the amount of rice. There we go. And then basically I'm going to, when this is starting to cook, like about 12, the ham is fully cooked, so I'm not gonna keep on cooking it. So then I'm gonna shove all this aside and then cook the egg. And with the eggs, you can put a little soy sauce in, but here's a little oil in the eggs. Okay. It helps it from sticking to the pan, which is a nice little feature. And I'm gonna put oil in the middle so that this doesn't stick to the, okay, here we go. This is more in the, okay, it's a one pot thing, right? And it used to, I'll use a pot to cook the eggs and another pot to cook the, okay. So now I'm just gonna stir the rice back in. I'm gonna give it to you. So, and then you can stir the whole thing back together. Good? Good? So, some onion. So now remember, you can pretty well just add whatever veggies you have.
Yeah.
Feels about right? You want to come on this side? Kind of hard for you to, is it possible? Yeah. There we go. Good, right? Good. So at this point, if you want to flavor it just a little bit more, I'll add a little bit more veggie, oyster sauce.
Do you want me to keep on stirring while you're doing that?
Yes, please. And I'm going to add a little bit of sesame oil.
Sesame oil is pretty strong.
Yes, and so stir well yeah. And we don't cook with sesame oil. You add it in way at the end.
Oh, okay.
Because I kind of think it has a fairly low boiling point. So I think it's about ready. What do you think?
I think so too. It smells amazing.
Good. Okay. Can we put it back into the container? Scoop it back into the container. This pot is pretty heavy.
Yeah,
it
is pretty heavy. And it's pretty hot too.
I got everything off. Okay.
We're almost there.
No rush. And remember, we're going to cook the chicken in here, and we're not going to wash the pan. Okay?
That's how
All right. Oh, guess what's steaming here now and burning like crazy? Ooh, yes. So chicken from the refrigerator. So now for the final act of the chicken, I'm going to make it a little spicy by putting chili oil.
Okay.
Chili okay with everybody?
Uh-huh.
Okay. With these Asian jars, you know, there's a slit that goes this way. If you go this way, lots come out. But if you go this way, it doesn't pour quite so. Okay. So I'm gonna use that in a little bit. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. So
The chicken's gonna have a lot of flavor on it.
yes. And the sesame oil can be added now. You can add it like after you cook it also. So
Okay, so might I ask what brought you here to Danville? Lived here your entire life?
I lived here really a good chunk of my life. Yes. I started to teach sociology here, and
Is it still hot? Or are you gonna come jiggle it?
we seem to be. I'm hearing it just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So here you want to add a little bit of oil, and
There we go.
and
Better.
I don't know. And the oil at the end separates the pieces of chicken.
Oh, okay.
So then they don't all clump together. It's sounding better. Whereas because it has the cornstarch in it,
You're gonna want to stick a little bit.
it's going to want to clump. Yes. So the oil is really important. And notice all the beer we put in, it's fully incorporated, right? You see the big difference between that and here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're kind of playing around with pans and heat sources here. We started here and then we went over there.
and we're back here. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll make another two tries.
I'm gonna take this out. This is. Can I have a bowl? Yeah. I don't want the garlic to get too burnt. I myself don't mind burnt garlic, but a lot of people say it's bitter. So I'll take that out. And,
are there any specific foods that you don't like?
oh no, I like everything.
Everything?
It's starting to boil as soon as we put the oil in. I want it to burn. I want that. There we go. There we go. It's getting better. Okay. So, foods I don't like. No, and with stir fry, you kind of have to get the pieces apart from each other.
Yeah.
So then you push, and
so that's when we're using the side of the wok.
yes. The hotter the wok works really much better for foods like this because this isn't quite hot enough. So really getting a roaring fire going is where you're gonna get that crisp outside and the tender interior.
Yeah.
But when it's left to steam like this, it could use. There we go.
Get some color on it.
Yeah, we're getting color. Yeah, you're right. Good. Yeah.
And you teach a culinary class here?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is that just from your joys of cooking? You just like
yes.
cooking?
Yes. I'm not a chef.
No?
Not a chef. I just do ordinary cooking.
Yeah.
And just having learned how to do it and lots of tricks, and really sometimes I feel like the cooking classes are just a good way to get a group of people together and learning some good techniques of cooking, learning knife skills like you're saying, and then we chatter away about everything. Yeah. It's just like a fun evening where we cook, and then the thing is that I don't monopolize the cooking, so we eat and then we have a lot of fun and usually more.
So that's onions, right?
No. That's just a piece of.
Are those onions?
Oh yes, this is onion, but this is just a piece of cucumber that I happen to have. I had these sweet onions in the refrigerator chopped up, so I thought, I'll bring it.
Yeah.
So like I say, use the things that you have.
Yeah.
But really, these are discretionary. A chili oil, you can use pepper, or get some chili and dunk it in oil and in boiling oil.
Yeah.
And just let it fry just a little bit, and that oil is exquisite.
Yeah.
You can buy sesame oil, soy sauce, and oyster sauce. These are all available at the grocery store.
Yeah, what I started to do is every time I went to the grocery store, I would get just one staple item.
Yes. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so it's kind of grown over time.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Because, but these aren't that expensive.
No.
Yeah, these aren't that expensive.
I mean, it might be if you go and buy all of them at the same time.
Right.
Find one or two each visit isn't too bad.
Right. So then, once again, like the veggies, like broccoli, I kind of like them a little bit on the tender crisp side, and really, it's healthier to eat raw and less cooked vegetables versus the vegetables that are fully cooked.
So does your
for.
cooking kind of just take out the nutrition a little bit?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, at least I've read so in some of the studies that I've seen. So for the very end, I'm gonna put back in the garlic and the onions and the cilantro. I'm gonna add a little bit of oyster sauce.
We're really loving the oyster sauce. I'm understanding how much of a staple item
It is. It is. I've had this since January, and I'm on my second bottle. Ooh, it's starting to, it smells good, doesn't it?
Sugar.
And I add a little bit of sugar to just coat the outside, and I'm going to add back a little bit of oil, sesame oil. Does that look wonderful? We can use this bowl. And I'll let you do that. How's that? Yes, thank you. And at the very end, I'll add some raw onions.
Wow, this looks so good.
You can cut the heat. Yeah, just, yeah. And then what I'm doing is just tossing the onions on top. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yay, voila!
Wow.
What do you think? So we have, yes, we're done. We're done.
That was amazing. This was super easy.
Isn't it super easy?
It was super easy.
Yeah. And really, everything could have been done all in one walk if we had gotten the expertise.
Yeah. All right, so I think we're going to dig in, and we really appreciate you. I guess it's me who's the guest in this kitchen.
Good for you. Yes.
You are here pretty often, right?
Well, we hope to be.
Oh, true, yeah. All right, so thank you so much.
So we have bowls for everybody.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.